Yo, what's
Hey,
happening?
what is up, man? How are you?
Excellent. Thank you guys for
Good.
having me on. That's very cool. Is this the
Absolutely.
second or the third show that you're doing?
It's the second, Brian. We
Nice.
never had a show that went terrible, so that
Okay.
would that would be that's not good for a brand. So this is the second, and it's the volume one of our sales mini series. And
Okay.
of course, this is local client playbook here with Matt Stack, and of course, everyone knows Brian Burt from the Passive and Massive community. And we're gonna talk some sales today.
Sales it up. Sales is one of my favorite subjects, man.
I
So,
love it. It's a
yeah,
science. It's an art form.
it is an art form. Absolutely. Just sheer brute power is what it takes. It takes,
Yeah,
you know what it takes.
that exactly. What you
Yeah.
just showed there is what I completely
I could
agree.
stand up and exemplify that a little bit more if you'd like.
Well,
Because I'm not wearing any pants. I'll just have you know
Me either.
that. No, who wears pants anymore? Really?
does anyone wear pants on these?
Overrated.
Yeah,
Mark's afraid to show his face on here.
you guys saw the beard.
Mark's
mean,
just camera shy.
That's not a way to represent a brand with a beard like I have.
I think
Majestic.
it's a very manly brand.
It is, and I didn't even put my beard oil in today. So it's not I'm kidding, I don't use beard oil.
Yes.
So I
I was
did.
gonna say,
Did you see the disappointment in
You can
Brian?
extract it from
Like,
hipsters.
really? He's like he's one of those beard wearing men that have
I
beard
was like,
oil.
dude, go pure duck fat. Duck fat all the way. You know?
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So what we did, we asked the group for some questions because sales is always going to be a challenge. It is, and sales can be a challenge for a great salesperson. There's always new objections that can creep up. There's new, I'd say that one of the best traits to possess if you want to be a good salesman is to be able to speak, just to be able to think on your feet, to be able to not let the tone of your voice change a lot if you start to get pressured, or you know what I mean. You have to kind of maintain a steady tone and have some confidence in your voice. But other than that, there's a ton of crazy stuff. We got a ton of questions. Some of them are pretty good, and I figured since you're a salesy man, you're a sales beast, Brian. Figured you
Oh,
wouldn't mind helping us out while we can look through some of these
absolutely not.
questions and
And
I'll
right
give some
back at you
insight.
there, big guy. You are quite the salesman yourself.
Well,
So, yeah, it should be fun. Absolutely.
I think
Do we
that's what
have
Matt does too.
Matt? Are you into sales at all, dude?
A little bit, a wee bit.
He's a
Yeah.
deal broker. He's a deal broker. He took your coaching and your training, Brian, and he turned himself into a little deal broker. He's my little Michigan deal
That
broker.
that's what you want, man. You know.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
absolutely for sure. So,
So,
yeah.
kicking it right off, objections. Of course, you had to put the objections list number one.
Yeah, I mean, really, those are such a fun topic. Thanks for that, man.
And I don't want to sound, I don't do as much of the selling as I used to because it's just you start to not have the time to do it. I try to get my hands in on the bigger clients. I have a little more granular control to convert those, but I've noticed the objections to get objections. When you cold call, you're going to get objections. When you cold email, you're going to get objections. But you know, I'm going to throw in my 2 cents on objections, and I'm going to back out and let you and Matt kind of kick the ball around with these. You get less objections when your leads are inbound. When someone calls me, they're going to have less objections.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
and that could be your positioning through the ad that they click through. It can be how I answer the phone, how I'm not trying to get a credit card number. I'm more educating them on how they can grow their business leveraging digital marketing. But that's where I'm from. Your list of objections is going to get shorter if you make the leads inbound rather than outbound. And I'm going to step back because I hate objections. So what do you guys think? I'm not interested. I don't have the budget. I'm already doing well. No, you're not. If you have time to answer a phone, you're not doing well.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
it's
we're too busy. That's one of my favorites. We've already got too much business.
yeah.
know.
So you guys want to kick around some objections? What would you guys say to I'm too busy? Do you guys even play with that, or do you disqualify the lead if they say that?
Yeah, for me, an objection is one of two things. It's an opportunity to win the sale, right? And that's cliche and corny, but it's true.
No, it's true.
Or an objection is pretty much a deal breaker for me. So you touched on it, Mark, and that's exactly right. I think that, and I learned this from some of the best out there, man, and it's positioning. Before you even get to a sales opportunity, if you're positioned correctly, and no matter what you're selling, right, whether it's a lead or you're trying to close a website or client SEO or even affiliate marketing, you can do this through just sheer on-page copy. If you're positioned in the right place, you won't have to deal with objections. You'll have people that are ready, willing, and able to pay you right out of the gate. For me, an objection at this stage of my career is 99% of the time it's a deal breaker. I don't have time for it. I don't really need your business. Not to be cocky or anything.
No, you're absolutely right.
If you can put yourself in that position, which is why it's called positioning, right? If you put yourself in that position, I think that an objection can be a deal breaker. And then what's kind of interesting about that is from the other end, somebody that's willing to object. I think that if you can, for me, sales is it's three things. It's synergy, energy, and passion. And if you can convey that through your tone and through, if you're on a Skype call or in person is the best way to do it. But just using your tonality in your voice, most people won't object to you.
Right.
I find it's very difficult for people to object to me anymore, and that's only because I know what to expect, and I listen more than I talk. If you listen, people are gonna tell you what they want.
Oh my God, I agree with that. That was a gold nugget right there, guys. For anyone listening, that was the gold nugget. People are so obsessed with a script to read through, and to hit them with, and just keep reading to the person. And honestly, if you take whatever script you have, throw it away, and make a new one that gets them to speak, get them to tell you what the challenges in their business are, get them to tell you what they expect out of their marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's beautiful. I so agree with that. So sorry to interrupt.
No, I think that's totally. I mean, it is the thing, and if ever I've given my sales team a script, I've trained over 100 salespeople in my day with various businesses that I've owned and whatnot, and I was the number one for another business when I first started out. My only job ever that I was working for somebody else. I think I'm technically unemployable, but the script is to me it's almost a killer because I find people become very monotone,
robotic. Yep.
Yeah, robotic, and they just would you like to? I have your objection. It doesn't work. I think
they're actually doing the robot while they're talking.
Yeah. You like for me it's better to, if you have to have a script, and if you're new to any aspect of sales, which I'm sure many of your viewers are.
Sure.
I think it's more important to have good memorized talking points than it is to have a script. Even to memorize a script, I think can be a real deal breaker. If you understanding is different than memorization.
Sure.
If you can truly understand what the product is that you're selling and the needs and the wants of your audience, I think that a few strong talking points, a few closing points, as we call them, those will definitely be to your advantage, because then you can pull them out any iteration of them. They don't always have to be expressed in the same language. You can you can say those in a lot of different ways, just depending on the scenario and the sales position that you're in.
Right.
I would say a script though is good for someone starting out, just so they can get kind of comfortable and be able to kind of think. Like, it takes a little while to get to what you guys are talking about, to get where you're comfortable handling objections. I think scripts are good though.
I think anyone who wants to make a script, that's fine, and then throw it away. And seriously, with what Brian said, what I tell people to do, and people yell at me, like sales guys, a couple in the group who we talk sales, and they yell at me like, "That's still a script. What you do?" I was like, "No, it's not. It's bullet points. Don't tell me, because that's what I'll make bullet. Just like what you said, Brian. Oh my God, that's just spot on with what I do, man. Make bullet points before you make a script. Sit down and say, what are the pain points of a business? This business, and then make a bullet point like what that business would want to hear. You don't want to. No one cares about ranking anymore. No one cares about social media posts, or if you're going to have a guy in a hot dog suit stand out front of their store and wave a sign around. No one cares. They want to know what the result's going to be.
Yeah.
And so instead of a script, I'd have people bullet point. Like, what are the main points? What are the focal points of this conversation. Like when that business owner hangs up, considering the attention span humans have these days and what we really retain, that's scientific. I don't remember the number.
And I agree with you, Mark, but maybe even take it a step backwards, right? Even come away from that a little bit more and talk about, I think a lot of sales, kind of in a more esoteric level, is about synergy, right? So really having that synergy with your prospect. I mean, there's very real science to energy transfer. That's measurable. It's tactile. It's tangible. People can measure physical responses to vocal tones. And if let's say you're on the phone with somebody, you can generate a negative response. You can generate fear, or you can generate love and kindness and care. And if you can do that with your voice, I mean, a lot of sales is vocal training, right?
Right.
So, if you can do that with your voice, you can invoke a real reaction or an emotion in your potential prospect, whether that's through describing potential outcomes or, vocalizing their problem to them better than they vocalized it to themselves. A lot of different things you can do to create that connection, and that connection or that synergy, for me at least, has always been what I focused on. And having people understand you and feeling like you in turn understand them, I think can create a much longer bond than just a very transactional sale where you're like, okay, quickly give me your credit card, I'm never talking to you again.
Agreed. I really agree with that, man. And I never looked at it from that perspective. So that's cool. I always just tell people ask how you become a good salesman. I say I don't know. I don't think I am that great of a salesman, which of course I'm pretty good at it. But it's about it's about I let my passion shine through when I talk to people. Like I really do have a passion for helping businesses, and that's probably a lot of how they start to to resonate with me. Like, wow, this guy's excited to help my business, and he seems passionate. So I guess that's the same thing as
yeah. And dude, if you don't like what you're doing, why the fuck are you doing it?
right. And that'll shine through. It's like, hey,
I mean, everyone's got to make a dollar, right? And everybody's got to earn some cash. I get it. Sometimes you got to do some shit you don't like. But at the end of the day, you're the one in control of your destiny. You're the one in control of where you're going in life, right? So you might as well do something you dig. I mean, it's short, right?
Yeah.
I'm almost 35 this year, so it's going fast.
Yeah, it does too. It goes fast. I'm getting up there as well. I'm 27, so it's all downhill after 27. I heard.
Yeah, right.
That's
so where am I? I'm like at the bottom.
Might as well kill you off.
That's crazy. No,
Mark, you ain't never gonna change, man. You ain't never gonna change.
So that was cool, man. There was definitely some nuggets. Now then we had another question, actually a few questions we grouped into 2 bullet points, and this is right up your alley, man. It is PPL.
Oh yeah.
And that's where you live. So we had 2 PPL objections, and it was how do you qualify your leads if the people would ask that, and what if the leads you send aren't good? I'm sure you get that.
I get it all the time. I mean, let's be honest though, I'm not doing as much selling as I used to.
Sure.
Once you have those in paper lead, once you have those relationships set up, they're set up for a long time. And if you're doing it right, you've got agreements with people that are going on. I've still got some over 9 years now. So I'm not doing as much as I used to, but I'm helping a lot of other people with it. And so one of the best objection overcomes, if you want to call it, or what would you call that? I don't know, like a retort?
Yeah,
right?
I guess.
Whatever you want to call it.
Rebuttal? Rebuttal.
Rebuttal, sure. One of the best rebuttals is kind of jujitsu. That's what I call it. Right? So it's taking your opponent's energy, right, and then turning it back around on them. So whenever somebody gets an objection like, well, what do you do if your leads aren't qualified? You agree, right? You say, that's exactly why I'm calling you, because so many people that are doing pay-per lead right now are getting junk leads. They're doing it through mass emails. They're not narrowing their audience. They're taking anything they can right now, and we're much, much different. We're really good at targeting people on Facebook. We do a lot of pull marketing from Google AdWords. SEO, we optimize only for the best keywords. And don't forget, guys, stories sell. Right? So if you give people your background a little bit on how you got into internet marketing, listen, I've been in internet marketing for 12 years. I know how to optimize for the right keywords and how to de-optimize for the wrong keywords. That's how people find you anymore is online. I mean, when's the last time you took out a Yellow Page ad or a billboard?
Right. Or made any money from it.
Right. Let's go put our faces on a park bench somewhere. But you know what I mean. So that's my point. And is I tend to use it like jujitsu. I turn. And I don't want to call my prospect an enemy, but in every sales transaction,
it's the common enemy or the common hero. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
You know, then what you can do is you can take that third party and villainize them.
Exactly.
Right? Say, they're the shitty lead providers. We're the ones. And by the way, guys, I curse up a storm on my sales calls. I just do. And it works really well, and you can immediately feel people change. And there was a recent study that said people that curse are more trustworthy. I don't get it, but I think you kind of take it's a step one in sales is to get your opponent to drop their guard.
Exactly.
Right? Everyone's like this, and then if you can get them to do this, right, and eventually drop their guard.
Get in there.
Yeah, the hug is not too far away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it, man.
So cursing instantly, whenever I say, listen, I'm not going to give you shitty leads, people are instantly like, oh, this guy's all right. I don't know why it works, but it works.
Oh, it definitely. I found that too. I try to watch. You know what I say? I make sure I say bullshit in every single one of when I talk, because I'm not dropping F-bombs.
Right.
I'm not getting like nuts on them. I'm like, listen, mother effer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not.
Yeah, but Mark, do I have to say it with that East Coast accent? Do I have to say boom?
Oh. Where are you from, Brian?
I'm from Jersey, man, but I still don't even say it that way.
Don't forget where you're from, Brian. Don't forget what coast you're from.
Oh, is that some jiu-jitsu right there?
No. No, but it's awesome to hey, everyone's sick of the bullshit. Here's why I'm sincere, and it does. I love that tactic to make the call. You know what I tell people? I'll tell them right from the bat, and you'll hear me do this all the time. I'm a terrible salesman. I'm not reading from a script. You're about to find that out, because nothing about my pitch is going to be perfect. I say I'm actually terrible at sales, but what I do is I actually market. I'm a real marketer. And that people are like, oh, wait, he's not a salesman. Exactly.
Dropper, for sure, dude.
That's the start of every one of my pitch. I tell people, hey, I'm a terrible salesman, and that allows me to stutter or mess up, because that happens. When you speak, you're going to mess up. People focus too much on that. Oh, I don't want to stutter. I don't want to say something stupid. Listen. Lower their expectation from the gate. Tell them, hey, I'm not here to try to sell you. I don't even want your credit card by the end of this. I want to talk about a deal. I want to talk about a partnership or an opportunity for both of us.
Yeah, and I think that's genius, man. I mean, that's a great tip right there. And then also to follow that up with, I'm not looking for a short-term partner. I'm looking for a long-term relationship with my client, or with my partner in paper lead, or whatever you're trying to move. I think it's important to let people know that you're sincere and genuine. And
I love it, man.
I had a guy ask me, so what's different about you? And I said, I'm not like other girls. And he paused for 6 seconds, and then he started laughing. I was like, oh God, I shouldn't have did that. That joke's not going to go well, but he eventually started laughing.
No, but you know what, Matt? You know what, dude? Honestly, that's why I like your style. Is because
I do too. He's hilarious.
I tell everybody, everyone I've trained in sales, everyone I talk to, students, what have you, I say, listen, dude, my tone and my style is mine alone. Don't try to be me. Try to be yourself. Yeah. And if you're just gonna, call yourself a woman to potential prospects, I mean,
he said, "I'm not like other girls." That is hilarious. And how did it go? Did you land it?
Yeah. It was the longest pause though. It just oh God, just thinking in my head, but I just didn't say anything, and then eventually started laughing.
Well, yeah, because he's programmed. He's programmed to expect a certain. Other salespeople in the past have programmed him to not expect that type of shit from someone.
I can only imagine if anyone's watching this right now or on the replay what they're thinking. Okay, so I have to make a connection by telling people that I'm not like other girls. And
right. I get them
lost at this point. Everyone's.
I think it's a really good. And how you followed that up, Brian, by saying, hey, be yourself. Don't try to be me. Don't try to be Matt and tell people you're a girl necessarily.
Oh.
Don't try to be Brian Burt, who's like, has his own ninja system he developed out of experience and studying, other sales and then putting it to work. Don't try to be him. Be yourself and let your personality shine. No one wants to buy or partner with or deal with a robot or a machine. They want to get personal with people.
And I think, more to your point, Mark, I think that, thinking back on when I got started, that was like in the heyday, like the very beginning of podcasts. And, like anything else, sales it's an art, but it's also a science that's teachable and learnable. And so for whomever's watching this right now, you're doing the right thing. For who's ever listening to this in the future, you're doing the right thing. You're in the world, right? So you're in. I think one of the best ways to learn anything is full immersion.
Yeah.
So you put yourself into that world. When I was learning sales, I find sales fascinating, whether it's marketing online or copy through words or sales in person or just over the phone. I love it because it's your will. Thy will be done. It's like
exactly.
If you can not push it on people, but create that connection, that synergy. I think that's a very powerful thing. And one of the things I would recommend anyone listening right now do is go hop on and podcasts are free, guys. I've learned like 95% of everything I know through podcasts. And, some of the best ones out there, Jeffrey Gitomer. I don't know if you guys have heard of Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Gitomer is a Jersey guy also. And he's got a really strong system. I think it's like the 2-minute sale. Like, it's a 2-minute podcast. And he's no bullshit. He's like, you're not selling because you're lazy. Or you're not selling because you can't overcome this simple objection. Very direct, and I find that just to be the best way I learn.
Yeah,
don't
refreshing.
Yeah, don't beat around the bush with me. Other guys like Kern has got a great system. Gulliver Giles online, he's another really strong one. Jordan Belfort, Straight Line Persuasion.
You can't say his name with a straight face.
I can't, dude. I can't. I actually just watched one of his videos for the first time, so I'm not condoning anything he is, but
hey, he was a good salesman though. At the end of the day, if you take the ethics out of it, he was a really good salesman. So.
Yeah, I haven't studied too much of his stuff, but you can go back to some of the classics like Dan Kennedy. I'm trying to think. There's one right on the tip of my tongue that I really like too, but I'll get back to that. But yeah, immerse yourself. Become a part of that world. If you want to go out and develop the world's best physique, start going to bodybuilding competitions and hanging out and talking to people. Right. Immersion is what's going to get you from where you are to where you want to be. Hanging out with people better than you.
I agree.
I play guitar. I've been playing guitar for like 17 years now. And
yes, he's
it.
getting
Yes. Are you gonna
strum on that thing once? Strum on that thing once.
I think it's out of tune, but. So you get it, right?
Too much more of that. This is going to have to go into a paid section.
The point is,
my shirt off.
I didn't get good at that, and first of all, I'm rusty as shit because I've been not paying attention. But I didn't get good at it without playing with people that were better than me.
Exactly.
And some of my friends are like virtuosos, so I hung out with them and got into guitar circles with them. And if you want to learn sales and you want to, sales is one of the best ways to take your income from here to, sky's the limit. So
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's full immersion is definitely something I recommend.
I love it, man. Dude, this is some bombs. Anyone watching this, I just hope they're gonna take this. This is mindset type of stuff to get prepped for a sale. It really is. I love it. I'm excited about it. I don't know if you can tell. I'm actually excited because I'm a fan of sales. I'm a student of the sale. Like I'm having a real good time. I'm looking at this one question, and it says, what's the best time to call a business? And I want to say the best time to call a business is whenever they're going to answer. And that seems to me someone with you're kind of overthinking it at that point. I think they said Friday afternoons are people are ready for the weekend and stuff. But you know what? I'll call someone on a Monday and sell. If I'm going to call, I'll call them a Monday morning when they're all pissed off being there, and it doesn't matter. I think that's kind of analysis paralysis when to think about it at that level. My personal opinion.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think when the best time to call a business is or to do a sale ever is when you're feeling talkative.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
You know, I think so. This is actually lifted from The Game, if you've ever read that book, Neil Strauss, which is a fantastic marketing book, by the way. It's about getting girls. It's not the reason I read it. I read it because it was recommended in terms of like creating tribes. And you know, Evan Pagan was in that book. He had a really strong. I think his name was like Don D'Angelo or something. That was his pen name, and you know, he's doing $35 million a year. He's become one of the top marketers online right now, and he was a part of that book as well. And it's all about, you know, getting girls, but also creating a tribe. And then they said that the best time to create a connection, whether it was with a girl or in a sale or anything like that, is when you're feeling talkative. Because, you know, we all go through those ebbs and flows where you're like, fuck, man, I don't want to talk to anybody today. Yeah, you know? Sure. Or I haven't had a coffee, don't talk to me, or whatever it is.
Right.
But you know, when you're on it, you know, your mind's sharp and you're chatting nicely and your words are coming together. You're not stumbling all over yourself. That's the time. That's the time, because momentum is created in those moments, and so much of sales is momentum.
I agree, man. That's perfect. There's a reason. I know probably most people. I don't know if a lot of people have been on like a real sale floor where you come in and there's music going, or even like if you go to seminars where people are doing the weekend where they can upsell you into like a $50,000 get rich thing. You know, when you go in, it's bright. It's loud. There's music. There's upbeat music playing. They get you out of your chair and have you clap and stuff. There's a reason. It's the energy. Like what Brian said earlier. If you don't have that energy, I do agree. You probably shouldn't try to sell that day. You know, you need to have an upbeat energy. But as far as a time on the clock or a day of the week, I think it's overthinking at that point. If you're feeling it, make some calls. Build some relationships.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, everybody gets nervous. I mean, Mark, do you still get nervous before a sales call sometimes?
Everyone, it's in my stomach, you know. It always is going to be. I get nervous before a webinar. Can you tell I'm nervous right now?
Yeah, you sound super nervous.
You know what I mean? But I am, though. You know, I know we're live, you know, and there's going to be millions of people seeing this. No, that was a lie. You know what I mean? So people, at any I know in the back of my mind that any mistake I make, it's going to be in the book that as a mistake. But at the same time, you know, that's the basic. You have to overcome that and operate and be a smooth operator.
My problem is my time I'm feeling the most talkative is usually after about 10 beers. So.
Is that when you tell them you're like a woman? There's no woman like you after 10 beers? Oh my God, this is starting to become bad.
I don't know if you guys, have I ever told you how I like first started sales at all?
No, I don't think so, but I'm ready to hear it.
This is a fucking story. Okay, so I was running like a door-to-door crew in Phoenix in the middle of like 125-degree.
Oh.
You know, doing auto repair stuff, and it was still pay-per-lead. It was just like a homegrown pay-per-lead program where I had actually gone out and established. You know, we didn't have the interwebs when I was 19. Well, it wasn't as prevalent.
Sure.
And I was making some decent money just doing it on my own, and I had one assistant that would walk around with me door to door, and whenever we'd get a deal, she'd write it up, and that was that. And we were doing pretty damn well, so my friends started catching on, and then it grew a little bit. Before I knew it, I had 24 sales guys going door to door for me, and it's kind of akin to like herding cats if you've ever tried to do that. It is impossible. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, long story short, I'm 19. I'm trying to run a crew of like street level door to door hustlers. Most of them not very educated, but good guys. You know, they had a way with words. Most of them. But one of my best was this little kid from Boston. He was 5'2". His name was Jay, and when he sold best. You know, he was super, super relaxed. I only found out later that he was shooting heroin between his toes before every sale.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, because I actually caught him in somebody's bathroom doing it. So I walk in, this guy's got his shoe off, he's got a needle. It was disgusting. I mean, I can tell you some real horror stories from those days, but
oh, wow.
whatever helps you to sell, man. I mean, if you're gonna pound a case, there, Matt, you know, I mean, go for it.
Oh my God. Right. So, for anyone taking notes, you
Ignore. Can you edit that out?
Right, exactly. That's no, but you know that's you need to find a way to get in this.
Wrong way, guys.
Yeah, don't do that way.
Don't call yourself a girl. Don't pound a case of beer.
And don't shoot heroin.
Heroin.
Right. That's some pretty solid stuff. If you want to change your notes, guys, to reflect what not to do, please don't go out. LCT said I should shoot heroin to be a good salesman.
I feel like we've gotten off track.
One thing I do think is helpful though is if you land something or you make a sale, is feed off that momentum, keep going, because like you're kind of like you're in the zone. Just ride that out.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more, man. It's so tempting when you get that first sale to kind of come away from it and then go celebrate.
Yeah, you have to keep going. That's true. I do that. I still do that a little. I'm like, yeah, it's time to party, and then I'm like, and you pay for it then, because I have up and down weeks. Like the past 2 weeks, I've been slammed. I did 2 20+ hour days in the last week, and
wow.
And starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But it's the same type of thing where I get distracted from certain things and I lose momentum in other areas, and it happens. So that's definitely a real thing. One thing I wanted to touch base with you about, Brian, and you specifically, because you and I, when we first started talking, you always had the mindset of, and this goes off a few questions we had about pricing, and now you probably know why I want to talk to you, because your mindset has always been, I value my time, I value what service I'm going to provide, more than obviously the guys who do the $2.99 a month SEO packages and stuff. And when you are coming in for a high-end sale, because that's what you do. I know you from talking to you. You're high-end. You're a high-end guy. Now, how do you is that something you want to add there, Matt?
I'm just
laughing at
You're a high-end guy, Brian.
Well, he is. He really is. I mean, I've talked to him about a ton of different products and different things, and he always goes for the, he would rather make a high-end product or deliver a high-end service. And how do you, I don't want to say justify it, because I don't think you should ever be in a position to justify a price, but how do you maybe position yourself and present a price that in the back of your mind's twice as much as a competitor or 20% more than a competitor? Is there any tip you could give the audience?
Yeah, I can. Hang on.
You okay?
I can give them this tip. Read this book.
Oh, Perry Marshall, get out of here. He is a monster.
Read this book. I got a giant shelf full of books, But like I said, education. If you wanna, learn how to sell something high end. Look, my dad told me a long time ago, if you can sell anything, you should sell the most expensive thing.
I agree.
And the rule of 80-20 is, that 20% of everybody is going to go for the extra high value dollar. Whether it's an SEO service, I have a client SEO, and now you guys know that. I have a client SEO business. We are double or triple as expensive. The advantage is we make, as much or more than most other companies that charge, a third or a tenth of what we charge with a third or a tenth of the volume of clients.
Right, exactly.
So headaches are a lot less, but also we get to spend more time on really delivering a fantastic service.
Right.
So we're not bogged down by the numbers, whereas we can really spend time, organically helping people out, learning about their business. And those relationships, I still have some clients that are, going on 4 or 5 years now here in Chicago. So that's rare in the client SEO business. That's extremely rare.
Yeah, that's really good. Good customer attainment.
Same thing with PPL. We charge because they're very, very targeted leads.
Right.
And when people see that, they are willing to pay for it. I find that they're, most smart business owners. Look. If you're in client SEO and you're going after the people that are looking to pay $200, $300, $500 a month, I hate to say it, they're probably not the wisest. Maybe they're smart, but not the wisest business owners. Because most business owners know they get what they pay for.
Yeah, I have a lot of them at $500 to $750, and they suck.
Yeah,
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I mean, they stayed with us a long time. Obviously, why wouldn't they? They got great results, and
Yeah.
so they stuck around a long time. I don't get bothered as much as I used to, but
Well, you deliver. You deliver, man. I mean, that's proven. Everybody knows that. So.
Yeah, but it's still a pain in the ass. I'd rather deliver to 2,000 a month clients than, and that's something you and I talked about that a long time ago too. I have a lot of my mass client came at the 500 to 997 range, and so is that the response you would have to an objection of, hey, this is more than the other guy? Say, hey, well, we provide an exclusive service to a smaller amount of people. We give you more attention. Is that a typical response?
One of the strongest sales techniques I know is what I call the qualifier flip.
Yeah.
I know you guys have heard me talk about this a little bit, but I don't ever let it really get to the objection stage. Once I feel like I've got some interest, then I force my potential partner or my prospect and client SEO, I force them to qualify themselves to me. I start asking qualifying questions like, how much business is too much business for you? Because I've overwhelmed other clients, and that hasn't worked out so well.
Very nice.
Or something along the lines of, we don't work with everybody. In fact, I turn down more prospective clients than I take, which is true.
Oh, building that scarcity. I love it. I hope people are taking notes on this.
Another one is, if they do hit me with a nasty objection, dude, I'll just hit them right back. I'll be like, you know what, maybe we're not the best fit.
Right, and then just stop and see their response.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
I love
Good
it.
stuff, man.
Yeah, that is. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking through this list. See, that pricing was a lot of people were had different pricing questions.
Dude, listen. So. The thing, kind of go back to the beginning here. The thing about getting the highest dollar for your service is, one, you got to be able to back it up, right? Because if you can't back it up, you're going to get slain out there, right? Charging, 3 to 5 times more than everybody else. If you can't back that up, then you're dead in the water. But 2 is you kind of need to have those cojones again. You've really got to be willing to walk away, and that's negotiation 101. And I mean, every sales prospect is a negotiation. So,
right.
Negotiation 101, you've got to be willing to walk away. Desperation kills every sale.
Yeah.
Every time.
It hands them the power, hands them all of the power in the negotiation if you seem desperate.
Right.
That's very true, man. That was great knowledge bombs, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, I really appreciate it.
Dude, my
even
pleasure.
if people hate sales or they don't understand sales, one of the biggest parts of any business you get into, any venture in life, is sales. Even if a lot of times when I explain sales, I kind of take the money out of it and the service out of it and say, if you try to convince someone of something, it's a micro sale. Not a sale is, in the fact that you're giving them money or vice versa, they're giving you money. But even if I have to convince you of something, or I sell you on an idea, or to look at an opinion of yours differently, it's a micro sale. Mm-hmm. And selling's a huge part of life, man. If you can't convince people to agree with you or to follow you or to negotiate with you, you're in trouble. So I hope everyone gets excited about this, man, because this was awesome. Seriously, like I'm blown away. We'll have to part 2 this in the future when we're both a little less busy. I know you're slammed. How's your launch, dude?
Good. Things are going well, man. We with PPL Empire, we signed up over 800 members.
Very nice, man. Congratulations. You deserve it, man.
Yeah. Well, it was a $2 course, so I mean, come on.
Yeah, but that was cool. That was cool what you did for people there.
Dude, I think Paper Lead is just such a great field right now. I think it's smarter and, quite honestly, more profitable for me as well to just create a giant community. So many people in my groups are seeing success now, and they're landing clients at $500, $750, $1,000 a phone call.
That's beautiful, man.
And I love seeing it. It's every day now in Paper Lead Army and PPL Army and PPL Empire, both groups. And I know your groups are doing quite well too. So.
I just love, and I think the reason you and I clicked as much as we did was the fact that most communities are geared towards selling someone something, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a good sales tactic to make a community and sell to them.
Right.
But I think what made us so unique is the fact that while I recommend people to buy things, like, hey, I use this or I know this person and you're going to benefit from this.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't sit and drop something and say, hey, guys, buy my stuff. Here's an affiliate link, buy this. Here's this, buy this. And we kind of positioned ourselves different from almost every other person that coaches or does any type of education for digital marketers. And I think people really appreciate that. And I respect you for doing that. And I know I got a lot of respect from people for doing it, where we said, hey, we make fine livings. We don't need to survive off of a course or a product. And it's not to say that we'll never make a course or product, or that, you know what I mean, we're anti-course or product. But, we can offer this much value because we're all right, and we want to see everyone else make a living. There's a big pie everyone can have a piece of.
Yeah.
And I think that's why our communities do as well as they do.
Well, I think that you and I have very similar sister communities.
I think so too. They're fun.
And they're both growing like weeds, man. I mean, people really love what you're giving away over there. People really love what I'm giving away, and I think that the blend of the two is great for everybody involved. Quite honestly.
Yeah, I'd say if anyone is not in the passive and massive group, they should be there.
Sure.
Definitely two of my favorite groups as far as digital marketing goes is passive and massive, and of course local client takeover. Questions get answered. There's real hot shots in the groups. There's real people that, well, besides you, Matt. Besides you're there. And you're
Matt he is that kind of girl.
He is that kind of girl. That's very true. But when you ask questions and millionaires respond. Not to say that money's the only judge of knowledge, but that's something you don't get in too many other groups, where established people that really do it, really have done it and do it, are going to give you insight. That's worth. You can't put a dollar sign on what that's worth, in my opinion. And you get that in our groups, and I love it. So whoever isn't in passive and massive, why not? Go over. It's you don't have to even be involved in pay per lead to jump in. There's tons of great sales advice. There's great SEO advice in there. There's tons of great content. Jump over in passive and massive. Check out Brian's. Is your course still open, or did you close it?
Yeah, it's still open. We're still giving away for $2 for the time being. And then we've got the VIP group, which is PPL Army. And that's a $97 a month subscription, but we're giving away 6 weeks for free on that as well. So I really want people to make their own decision.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, is this for you? Is pay-per lead for you? Right. No? Yes? Either way, it doesn't affect me one way or the other. I want people that are really committed to pay-per-lead to really start generating, a community with me. That's the idea, and I've noticed you guys have even been talking a lot about it, and I know you just did another little hangout with another guy that does pay-per-call, and
it's well, even when I sell SEO, it's more lead-based now, where I don't charge per lead, but you have to sell them on the fact that they're going to get new leads that they can convert into customers. And I'll get into that on another one. I don't want to run too much more of your time. I could sit and talk sales all day. I know we all could, but unfortunately, there's way too much work to be done to talk about sales all day. But but yeah, if anyone's not in passive and massive Facebook group, jump in there. The course is $2, guys. I said this originally when you first dropped the course. I promoted it. # no affiliate link, like a boss. I promoted it because
that was awesome. That was awesome.
A boss. I promoted you because you're my friend and I know the type of value you give. And dude, it's $2, guys. If anyone jumps in and you're tremendously offended, I'll pay you $5 back. Because I've really seriously.
Where do they go now? I think they go to PPLEmpire.com. So PPLEmpire.com.
All right. Perfect.
$2, man. And by the way, Mark, I'm going through your course too. I don't know if you know that.
I'm blushing.
Dude, I'm learning. I'm learning, man. I mean, I thought I was a good SEO. Jeez, man, you're really taking it up a notch with that course.
Thanks, man. I have a lot more to drop. I want to get a little more. Okay, I don't want to even get into it. It's seriously, we'll sit and talk about SEO and sales all day.
Probably could.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, and
you guys are awesome.
I did want to bring up one thing though before we got off, for anyone that's kind of new to cold calling and that's kind of like afraid of it or anything like that. I'll give you 2 of the most helpful things I did. For those of you guys that don't know, I actually got coaching from Brian, and that leveled me up a lot with sales. That really, really helped me. So, guys, go out there, get a coach. It can really help.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I did is I found someone to listen to me, pitch pitch on the phone. They can kind of listen to what I'm saying and kind of be there for a little moral support, and then you kind of listen to them do it. Just so find like a cold calling partner. You guys can critique each other. It just makes it a lot easier.
You see that app right there? It's Tape a Call.
Ah, nice.
Very nice.
Nothing is going to hone your abilities more than you listening to yourself. It's painful, but it works. So.
Look at that. The end of the Webby and all that extra value gets dropped right at the end.
Yeah.
Keep a call, get a coach. That's right. Matt did tell me he got a lot out of your coaching, man, which I know, everyone that did coaching with you did. I mean, people can tell from how you speak about the sales and stuff. You're a rock star. I can tell you're a salesman. I can tell you're a fellow warrior in sales.
Yeah. And remember, guys, you're always out for the win-win. You're not out to ever screw anybody over. You always want to make sure you're providing, and you want to go for the long-term relationship. So I'm going to leave it on that.
I love it, man. Thanks a lot for being part of the show, the Webby, whatever
awesome. Yeah.
the hell this is, the local client playbook show. Passive and Massive Facebook group, PPLEmpire.com. That's the man, Brian Burt. Thanks so much for the knowledge bombs, dude. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ryan.
You guys are awesome. Thank you for having me on. Much luck with this show. I know it's going to do really well. So.
Thanks, dude.
Okay, guys. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.